Back with episode number 43. If you are new and if you're not part of the live stream, my name is Coach Prez. I'm a football coach and a self-proclaimed blue belt philosopher and a martial artist. Okay? What we do here, we discuss everything from sports all the way to the difficult questions of philosophy, life, existence, character, all these metaphysical questions. All right. Nice. I got my intro out the way quick. Now, before we continue, a couple of things. Normally, we start with sports. Okay. If there is anything in particular that we can discuss about sports, now is the time. Okay. Questions or whatever. So we do this first. Then we move on to everything else. I will have, for those that are not watching live, I will have the timestamps for everyone else. So feel free to skip or go wherever you want to go. I said this as well. The last thing I had to say is I need about 5-10 minutes to really get going. Okay, to start cooking, as the young generation calls it. Okay, I'm learning the new language. I'm becoming more and more modern or childish or something in between. We're not sure. So we're going to start with a question about martial arts. It's not actually going to be a question. It's just I'm gonna expand on what I said last week. Unless we get any new questions, I'm just gonna say what I needed to say and then we're gonna move on. But as I said, questions are always welcome. It makes my life easier. Otherwise, I just need to keep going and going and going. Not that it's a problem, clearly. I've managed to do it. First time watching, I'm at work and just gonna listen with AirPods. Nice. Good stuff, lovely. Okay, so legend. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them in. If not, enjoy listening. So we're gonna start with expanding on that question about martial arts from last week. Can I talk about the discipline or the mindset? I'm actually gonna talk about a little bit more about the technique, okay, and about the difference between martial arts, because I know a lot of people, obviously nowadays, it's a fun thing to do. Okay, it's popular now. It's become finally popular for everyone to go and do martial arts, just whatever. The most common sports that people do nowadays is gonna be either boxing, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, or MMA. Kickboxing / Muay Thai or MMA. This is the choices, the most common choices. Okay. So what is the difference? And I count wrestling and jiu-jitsu as I put this together. Because for example, here in England, there is no wrestling. Wrestling is not developed at all. In Bulgaria, wrestling is almost a national sport. It's one of the most important, the most developed sports in the country in terms of achievements. Okay, so the difference between these sports. Jiu-jitsu, grappling is its own thing. Okay, grappling is difficult. You have to be able to grapple. Some people look at it and say, "Oh, this is gay," but it's not. It's not, and it's actually, if you've never grappled and you come up against someone that has grappled, you're gonna be folded like a pretzel very easily. You're gonna get folded like a towel. Okay, and you're helpless. It's not a good feeling. That feeling of helplessness, feeling, gee, damn, I'm probably gonna be submitted in about 30 seconds by this other guy. against my will, he's gonna make me tap. It's not a nice feeling. Okay, so then when this happens, you realize, no, this is not gay, I'm actually weak. Okay, that's what I can say about grappling. It's some people get very insecure when they get beat up like that, because everyone gets beat up. You know, in the striking arts, you can actually get like a lucky punch or whatever. Everyone's got a puncher's chance, what they call. In grappling, there is no puncher's chance. So if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna lose. So that's what I was gonna say about grappling. Now the striking, the striking arts. So we have boxing, kickboxing slash Muay Thai, and we're gonna count MMA as well there. You know what the most interesting thing about this is? It's the distance. At first glance, you look at these three separate sports, which is obviously kickboxing, boxing, and MMA, and you're like, oh yeah, yeah, they're just punching and kicking each other. But when you actually start practicing it, when you participate, you start realizing over time, oh, the distance is different. Okay, so what I mean by that, in boxing distance, you can literally be, especially if you watch next time you watch boxing, and there is like an orthodox versus a southpaw, their feet, they're almost always stepping at each other's feet. Okay, their lead legs are constantly in this battle. So they're basically almost at all times, this is the distance, lead foot against lead foot, this here. Okay, that's their front foot, both fighters front foot. In kickboxing, the distance is all of a sudden kind of here. It's more so kicking distance, obviously. Yeah, because you can kick from further away. Next is now we get to MMA. In MMA now, the distance from this got to this, and now it's probably more like something like that. Why? Because there is the threat of the takedown. When someone initiates a takedown, okay, if you're here, maybe you don't have time to get your leg out the way. So this is very interesting, actually. A Red Bull pause. And in MMA, as a general rule, most people have their hands a bit lower. Not most, but you can see at least half of the fighters having their hands a bit lower. Why? Well, because when the takedown comes in and you have your hands up here, you allow them, you give them a free access to your hips, to your legs. If my lead hand is down here, a bit lower, and they shoot, by shoot, I mean they go for the takedown. If this happens, my lead hand is down here. When they shoot, I can kind of use my lead hand to block, okay, or to get an underhook to defend. So this is why in MMA you see a lot of fighters that they don't have their hands up here. Okay, that's another difference. Kickboxing, hands high. Boxing, you can kind of get away with this. There is different types. But in kickboxing, if you have that, if you never see a kickboxer with his lead hand low. It's very rare. Why? Because there is the potential dangers are not very pleasant. Why? Because you can get kicked in the head, and whenever you have this hand down to defend yourself, you're probably gonna try and stick to slip and duck and dive and whatever. In kickboxing and in MMA, whenever kicks are involved, you don't really want to be slipping too much to the side. Why? Because they can just feint you as you're sleeping. They've just feinted that jab or whatever, and there is a kick coming behind you, and you're slipping into the kick like Leon Edwards and Usman. If you watch, obviously, I don't know who from all the people listening to this, who watches MMA and who has seen Leon Edwards versus Usman, if you actually look at it, Leon Edwards throws a cross just as a feint. He throws a cross, and behind this cross, he throws a kick. Usman sees the cross, the punch, obviously. He does this to parry and slip at the same time. As he's doing this, boom, he leans into the kick, and the kick takes his head off. So it's very risky slipping in, especially too much head movement. You can't really get away with it in MMA and in kickboxing. So these are kind of the main basic differences between MMA, kickboxing, and boxing. Okay, now that we have this out of the way, unless we have any more questions, I'm gonna move on. And today, instead of doing an actual, just like a singular topic where I usually just go into so much detail, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go through my. I have notes, over time during the week. I collect my thoughts, kind of, and I write something down to remind me. Also, I have a question for whoever is listening. Is my mic okay? Because in the last episode, it kept making this annoying noise. So hopefully we can hear properly now. So please let me know if my mic is working fine. Because it was very annoying. It almost ruined my podcast. The last podcast was so good. And my mic kept making that noise. The heat is hitting me as well. So we drink Red Bull. Okay. Oh yeah, we can easily transition into the next topic, which is I was thinking about time in general and what people do with their lives, because I've been doing so many different things. I've been doing I've been training, doing martial arts, MMA, all that stuff. Then I've had time before that. I used to do something else. Works. Um, I stutter. Is maybe sometimes I do. I don't know. Hopefully it's okay. So let's just move on. If the mic is shit, just let me know. Anyway, I've been thinking about time because I've done so many things now. I've had days where I'm coaching every day of the week. Okay, when I'm coaching every day of the week, I live in almost like this football world. Then I've had weeks or months where I'm training every day of the week. So it's like MMA, kickboxing, 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 boxing. So I'm fighting. I'm in a different mode every day of the week. Or I've had days where every day of the week I'm reading a book. Okay. My record is actually one time, I think in 2021, I read 5 books in 7 days. So just to give you kind of an example of what I mean by immersing yourself completely in different things. And then when you've done all these, obviously, you have all these different interests, you've done different things, then you're like, okay, when you sit back and you think, and you're like, how interesting it is, while I'm immersed in, let's say, in whatever I'm immersed, there is almost like a parallel existence of people that keep doing what I was doing a week ago, but now I'm not doing it. My head is what? It works perfect till now. Till now, good. It's good to know. Good to know. I appreciate the feedback. All right. Let's see. Let's just have a look. Okay. My Wi-Fi is on. It should be working. I'm as good looking as ever. So we can continue. Okay. And you keep doing different things. And you sit back and think, while I'm doing what I'm doing, do I realize, especially for people that actually want to progress in whatever they're doing, and I've picked up this, picked up that. I want to be a philosopher. I wanna be a very skilled martial artist. I want to be one of the best coaches there is. And but you realize it's impossible to reach a world level at all these separate things. You have to pick. You have to pick something, and it's added when you're competitive and you want to be progressing the fastest. And now I'm coaching more, and I'm thinking these guys, yeah, from the gym that are still fighting, they're still training hard. Like at the moment, I'm picking up cones, and I know while I'm doing this, who's winning the UCL tonight? Oof, who's winning the UCL? That's a tough question. If I can tell you who I support, then I'll go back to my original question. Who I want it? I want. I think it's time for PSG to get it. I think it's time for PSG. They're very dangerous. PSG is too dangerous. Okay, think about it. PSG, first of all, they're going to be all over Inter. We should probably expect this. Inter are going to defend nice and compact. PSG, though, they can cause trouble. They have the dribblers, they have the pace, they have creative players. Then, let's say Inter starts well. PSG are solid defensively and they're very dangerous on the counter because they have these rapid players. They have Kvara, they have Dembele, they have Hakimi. On the other side, they have, I don't know if Nuno Mendes is playing, but he's quick as well. They have these quick players. That guy, I don't really like him, but he's somehow he has actually become a bit better. What was his name? The French guy, that skinny boy, and he's annoying. He looks like he. What's his name? I don't remember his name. Just a young boy. He plays up front. What's his name? Ah, that's annoying. Anyway, regardless, but they have too much pace. Yeah, this guy Barcola. What was his first name? So listen to this. My first impression of this guy. He comes on from the bench for France in I'm pretty sure in the World Cup. He comes on from the bench, and his shots, yeah, are halfway down his fucking ass. Shocking. How can you play for? I don't get these new players. It's just infuriating. You cannot play football like that. This literally, I'm not even joking. This gets in the way of you playing football. It gets in the way. You cannot run. I never knew he was quick. Now that he is actually starting pulling his shots up a bit, now I'm actually, oh, that guy's got a bit of pace, you know. He's actually not, he's not bad. He's not that bad. But the character, their behavior on the pitch is bad. Also, think about this. I know people used to say that I'm an Mbappe hater. He's left. PSG seemingly are better. Why? Is it just because of Mbappe leaving? Probably not. But they are better, no? Why? Because it's a team sport. Team. It's not one player. How many times have we seen someone do something and Mbappe throws his arms or whatever? Throws it. He thinks he's the boss. You cannot win with players like that. Especially if it's Messi, even Ronaldo, probably you can win. But Mbappe is nowhere near this level. Okay? Well, let's stop confusing. I know I'm going on a tangent now. It's fine. I'll come back to wherever we had to come back to. His talent is not Messi and Ronaldo level. His talent is probably, yeah, he's gonna be elite level for 5-10 years, but that's it. It's not exceptional, historic, ridiculous level. Okay, remember this. My opinion, his peak, yeah, only goes as far as his pace go. If that makes sense. If he gets injured tomorrow, okay, someone slight tackle, they tear his ACL, he comes back and he's slower, he's done. He's done. He doesn't have that mindset of working for others, trying to create for others. He has the mindset of me, 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 me. I am the main person. He goes to Madrid. That's why he struggled in the beginning. I think now he has kind of settled because they've got Vinicius. Vinicius is probably better player, to be honest. It's 50-50. Okay, so I just don't like him. And there you go. He leaves PSG. Suppose what? Why did they not all of a sudden? They should have They should have done a nosedive like Barca after Messi. Okay. Now they've rebuilt 5 years later. But Barca after Messi, boom, nosedive. Why? Because it's Messi. Okay. Messi is not in there going me, 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 me. Messi is there playing his game. Oh, do you want to take that penalty? Yeah, no problem. Go and take the penalty. Okay. He's more of a creator. Okay. Does he defend? No. There is no debate there. He doesn't defend. But his offensive arsenal is so deep. He's such a complete player that you allow him. Mbappe is not this. Mbappe is pace, a bit of finishing. What else? Am I missing something? Am I being unfair? Okay, let me know if I'm being unfair towards this great talent, Kylian Mbappe. Am I being unfair? What am I missing? Is he an amazing dribbler? I don't think so. Does he dribble past players? Yes. How? Shake and go. 9 out of 10 times. Catch me if you can. Yeah. See you later. Did I used to do the same thing when I was young? Because I was quick, early. You know, when some people they develop a bit earlier. I think I was like that. So I know, I know how it feels. It's not like I was the slow guy. One deep question after this one: how you deal with disrespect? I'll answer this. Give me another couple of minutes. Also, if you have any more football questions, throw them in. I'll answer the disrespect question, and we can continue with the football. Because once I get going about football, it's difficult for me to stop. Okay, but people just don't ask me questions, and I never initiate a football talk. Why? Because my knowledge, I'm going to sound a bit condescending, just a little bit, is acceptable, is far superior than the people that I normally talk to about football. So I just don't go into the topic. I stay away from it because I don't want to I don't want to make people feel like they don't know what they're talking about. Because I'm a nice guy, contrary to popular belief. So yeah, Mbappe goes with his pace. I was going to say, it's not like I was the slow fat kid in school that got dribbled past every time by the quick guy, and now I'm bitter and I have a thing about against quick guys. No, I was this. It actually, in a way, it got in the way. It got in the way of my development technically. I was still very good technically, but I'm now in my head. I'm thinking, imagine if I was slow. I would have been forced to develop technically to deal with the problems that I now deal just with pace. Does that make sense? I can just get out of trouble because of my speed. I took a bad touch. I'm quicker than him. Ta-ta-ta, 3 steps. Boom, knock it past him. I'm gone. Does that make sense? So yeah, now let's jump into the question about disrespect before I forget. How do I deal with disrespect? We talked about disrespect in a couple of the previous podcasts. First of all, I think this was 3 or 4 episodes ago. What is respect? Okay, we have to establish what respect is. What is to be respected? To be respected, okay, is to be admired. Okay, for someone to appreciate you or a certain skill or ability that you have. Okay, this is respect. I even went into the definition of respect. Okay, etymology of the word. It comes from Latin. It comes re. Okay, the first part of the word is re, means again, redo, restart, rewrite. That's why we use the word re at the front. And then there was specere. Specere means to look back, I think, from Latin. This is now I'm just telling you from the top of my head. So it basically means to look back at someone again. So let's say you walk past someone and then you notice him for some reason. So something sticks out about that person. And then you're going to turn and look back at him. So this is kind of the origin of the word respect, if you think about it, okay? Just to establish the definition. So respect is to admire someone, okay? I appreciate someone else's quality. So dealing with disrespect, what is disrespect? So someone is not showing me the appreciation that I think I deserve, okay? I think I deserve this. I think I deserve, let's say, magical numbers in use now. I think I deserve 10. What this guy is showing me is 6. What? Okay, so how do I deal with this? Someone is not appreciating me enough. Most of the times, listen to this. We have to understand, most of the times when someone has a problem with you, or someone decides not to appreciate you, because that's disrespect. Whether he's not going to appreciate your rights as a human and he calls you names or whatever, or whether he just decides to ignore your contribution to whatever, to a certain, I don't know, project, situation, doesn't matter. What you do, you have to understand, you need to know. We all live in our own heads to a certain extent. In our own heads, we're the main character. Everyone else plays kind of supporting role. Maybe we have some villains, in your story. There are villains. You have your enemies. Then you have your supporting cast. If we're the Avengers, we all think, yeah, I'm Iron Man. And then everyone else is the supporting cast. Oh, who's the Black Widow? That kind of stuff. But it's actually not like that, because everyone thinks they're Iron Man. So you have to understand, in this other guy's head, guy or woman, you are not the main guy. They are. They don't pay that much attention to you. The original thought in their head, they don't have this priority of how is he feeling? Did I make sure he knows that I appreciate him? Does that make sense? So just understand this. And also understand, if you deserve something, clearly it's evident. Because respect, you have to earn it, you have to deserve it in some shape or form. If you don't get what you deserve, but it's evident you do deserve it, that means this other guy, they have a problem. Okay, they have a problem. With themselves. They may be bitter most of the times. the people that don't appreciate others, they are insecure. They feel like if they compliment someone else, this takes away from them. They don't feel like they have enough. They don't feel like they have been appreciated. So they can't give it. Okay, you can't give what you don't have, if that makes sense. Okay, so hopefully that kind of answers your question. How do I deal with it? So actually, I broke down everything and I didn't say how do I deal with it. I don't care. I enjoy being disrespected. It's so, oh, I'm happy when this happens. I even make up stories in my own head of me being disrespected because it pushes me, it drives me. Because I wanna let these guys know you made a grave mistake here. And you will see. You'll see. I'll show you now. I'll show you what mistake you made. Okay? Watch what I'm gonna do. And this is what drives me. That's how I deal with it. I'm not gonna go to bed, oh my god, I'm disrespected. I don't care. So what? There is nothing external, nothing outside of me that can make me feel sad or whatever. That can hurt me. Nothing external can hurt you. It's illogical. Okay? It's illogical for something outside to influence what is inside. Does that make sense? There is no reason. It's normal. It happens all the time. But if you really sit back in a reflective mood, you sit back in your chair, you take a sip from your Red Bull, and you say, yeah, nothing external can make a difference inside of my head. Because my internal dialogue is very strong. Nothing can break it. Don't care what anyone else says. No problem. No problem. You're welcome. By the way, whoever has any questions about anything, just feel free to ask. Okay, because I'm going now. By going I mean I'm almost sweating. That's partly because it's very hot, but it's partly because I've warmed up and I'm ready to answer. I'm like a tiger, okay, ready to hunt. I'm primed and good to go. We only need the first 5 or 10 minutes to get warmed up. After we're warmed up, there is no question too difficult to answer. On the spot, no preparation. Just go, boom. Flow state. We've reached flow state. So yeah. If anyone's got any sports questions, I can answer sports questions. If not, we can. I actually had a topic that I can go back to that I started in the beginning, which was about time. How do you get to that level that you really don't care about others? Okay. It's not me not caring about others. It's not the right wording. Okay. I care about others, but I care about a small number of people. Okay. I think the trick is you shouldn't care about the immediately close to your immediate circle, the people that are very close to you. You should care about them. Okay. Care about them. Very tight, small circle. Then your extended circle, you shouldn't care that much. By extended circle, I mean from I don't know how close you are with your family. Everyone outside of your immediate family, maybe 5 or 6 family members, maybe 2 or 3 friends or 4, but to be honest, what my friends say and think of me, it's 50-50 whether I take it into consideration. I still care about them. Well, it's difficult. With friends, it's a bit more complicated. So I care about my family. I don't care from the region, from outside family to, I don't know, Facebook friends and all that. I don't care about all that. Like people that know me. But then I care about like people in general, about leaving things better than how I found them. Okay, making a positive impact in the world. So I do care about people. I just don't care about their opinions most of the time. Why? Because the more you study, I think the actual reason why I don't care about what kind of people say is why should I? What is the reason to care? That's easy to say. The actual reason is I've read over 250 books. I know more than most people. I know that sounds bad, but this is the actual explanation. What can I say? The more books I've read, that knowledge that I keep accumulating, and all the things that I'm doing to get better, to get better, to get better. It's not just doing things for the sake of telling other people, look how much I'm doing. When you do so many things and when you push yourself and challenge yourself, you go through so much in your own head. Okay, you overcome so many things in your own head. I don't really want to go to the gym today. I still go to the gym. I don't really want to read today. I still read. I don't really want to do this today. I still do it. Oh, today I have work. Then I go to my second job. Then I go to train. And then I do this. I don't really want. How am I going to do that tomorrow? And then you still find a way to do it. You go through these almost like mental evolutions. And this changes you. You start appreciating what you've done little by little. Okay? And then you keep learning things. You start learning things about yourself, what you used to be like. Oh, I used to be a bit insecure like this. But you realize your own insecurities once you push past them. And then looking back, you can tell, if you're honest, you can tell I was insecure about this, about this, about this. My insecurities pushed me to act this way, and this way, which was negative. Okay, so once you do, once you get become, you keep becoming better and better and better. You start recognizing these patterns in other people, and when you recognize them, you're like, why should I care what you say? Why is it important? What do you know about me? And what have you done to make me care? Let's see. Hopefully, my podcast is still going. It is. We're good. Yeah. Whoops. Water break. That's it. So I was gonna say now originally, I really hope the internet didn't mess up my podcast. Because a couple of weeks ago, this kind of happened to me. I did like an hour, 10, 15-minute podcast, and it ended up. Yeah, thank you. That's a perfect answer. Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, is there anything to add to that perfect answer. No answer is perfect. You can always add more, learn more things, and find new knowledge. But as a general rule, that's it. That's it. You have to understand, for someone, for someone's opinion to be important and valid, they need to know. There is a lot of context to know. Otherwise, you can just ask GPT. Ask GPT. Ask Chat GPT. Whatever your problem is, just tell him. He's gonna give you a semi-positive answer because I think it's in his settings. Okay, and then you give him some more context about whatever you asked him, and then he changes his answer. So think about this. It's the same with people. They have an opinion based on the limited knowledge about you and your situation they have. Okay, they're not objective. They don't have the objective truth about everything. So their opinion is going to matter very little. But still, take it into consideration. Use it to motivate you, to push you, to prove them wrong. Have this, at least I have it. I have this a little bit of toxic in me. Yeah. That when I see some, like, a disrespectful comment, or I thought that someone should have shown more respect towards me and they don't do it, I'm like, okay, I'll remember that. It doesn't bother me when I go to bed at night. I can still sleep just fine. Yeah. But when the time comes, I'm lacking that a little bit of energy, I can remember this and say, okay, remember this guy. I'm not gonna let him be right. I'm gonna push so hard, do so many things that he's gonna be like, and maybe he doesn't care about me. Whoever guy disrespecting me, they don't care about me. They don't care what I do with my life. In my head, I'm gonna be thinking, I will make them care. Oh, this toxic, ego-driven thing. But if you are able to channel that toxic, all of us, we all have a bit of bad in us, okay? A bit of dark, nasty, toxic poison, okay? If you manage to channel it properly, then it's good, okay? We shouldn't just reject the idea, or whenever you recognize something that is a bit dark in you, just say, oh no, no, look the other way. No, look straight towards it. Oh, that's in me. Why? Can I use this? But in a good way somehow. Because we all have something bad in us. But can you use it? I've learned how to kind of use it. Yeah. So what I was gonna say, this is actually kind of related. And think about this. Other people, not other people. Time moves anyway, you know? Time passes. Years go by. You have to do something anyway, you know? And whether you like it or not, that's important. I'm TikTok clip farming at the moment, probably. My vocabulary is exceptional. um, so whatever you do, whether you're ambitious or you're not ambitious, you want to do and achieve things or not, time is going to pass anyway, regardless of what you do. And you're going to do something, okay, regardless of whether it's going to be something good, something bad, you still have to do something to pass time. And your actions inevitably are going to lead you somewhere. Okay? So you will be doing something regardless. And there is a destination that you're going to get to. Why not make sure that this destination is a good one? Okay? Because all you need to do is adjust your actions a little bit and the destination changes. because time will pass anyway. You're going somewhere regardless of whether you want to or not. Does that make sense? Or am I being too almost like too Eastern philosophy too vague? You have to do something. That's a given. Whether it's good, bad, wasting time is still doing something. And you are going somewhere, regardless of whether you want to or not. If you want to freeze time and relive the same day every day, that's still not going to happen. You're going somewhere. There is a destination. Why not make the right decisions, make the right choices, take the right turns when it's time to turn, and end up in a good place? Why not? Why not do that? That's what I wanted to say earlier. That's why I started, because I've done martial arts, I've read books, I've coached, I've this. So many almost like parallel worlds that have existed within. And all these parallel worlds could have led me to a different point in life. And you pick one, all the rest, they still keep going. You could have picked something else. You just pick and see where that takes you. But my point is, make sure that destination is a good one. So now, 46 minutes in, it's time. By the way, this is not a medical advice, but I'm opening my second Red Bull. Little oh, nice noise. Listen, guys, some people say Red Bull is not good for you. I'm not gonna say it is good for you. Just gonna say if you're a fit person, okay, you're allowed to drink Red Bull, okay? Look at the joy. Oh, what a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Summer's Saturday afternoon. You could make an argument it's not summer. Okay, no problem. 31st of May, 2025. We're enjoying this beautiful afternoon. Saturday afternoon. Sunny, maybe a bit too warm for my liking. But we take it. Unless we have any questions, I can move on to my next thought or point or whatever you want to call it. I had to. What am I going to name this podcast? That's a good question. I don't know. We'll see where this takes us. We keep going. Oh, I was going to say something about. Okay. This is my note. Listen to this. I'm just going to read it actually. You can feel an emotion without expressing it. These are two different things. However, expressing it always gets in the way of understanding. Think about the facial expressions that a person makes when they are actually expressing an emotion, letting an emotion out. Okay? There is this reflective one, stoic. I can feel very happy at the moment, or I can feel very sad. This is that stoic facial expression, or more so lack of a facial expression. Unmoved, stone cold. Okay? And the one that when you feel something, when you're like this. This for my TikTok edit. Ah, when your facial expressions. This actually, I read this in a book. The book was called Behave, I think, by Robert Spolsky, I think his name was. Um, Actually, science says that your actual facial expressions can facial expressions, body language, all this, you do them because you feel a certain way. But then by doing them, they send the signal back to your brain, and the signal is reinforcing what you're feeling. So you feel this even more, if that makes sense. If I'm doing this, this is sending a signal back to my brain. Fix my mustache. This is sending a signal back to my brain saying he's sad. What happened? That's bad. The situation is not a good one. So I'm reinforcing what I'm feeling. Whereas I'm feeling that I'm still feeling down, sad, or whatever like that. But I'm not expressing it. I still have my shoulders back, good posture, and I'm just looking. I'm not sending any negative signals to my brain. You know, I'm not reinforcing my feelings, if they're negative. So I was saying your facial expressions, okay? If you've read actually some books about behavior, your facial expressions, body language, and all of that stuff, it's not a one-way street. You feel something and then you showcase it by your expression, body language, and all of this. But then your body language and facial expressions actually send the signal back to your brain. That signal, when it just reinforces what you're feeling, okay, what happens then? You just feel more of the same thing. So if I'm sad and I've done this, I'm gonna feel more sad. If I stand up and I don't express that sadness and I'm more so like this, I'm sending a signal back to my brain which says I'm okay. And then my brain is like, oh, he's okay. The communication changes a little bit. So I was sad. No, no, no. Well, what do you mean? But you're showing that you're okay. That comes back. Then your brain brings back, yeah, probably I'm okay. That communication changes. That chain of communication, whatever you want to call it, improves. This is why it's important. Be stoic. Become a stoic. Be. Oh, this bad thing happened. Okay. You know what I even do? I've actually I didn't learn this consciously. I just started doing it just by myself. When my self talk, whatever happens, even if it's something bad, I have this almost like a smirk. It's not like I even stare like that. I'm like this, almost like a condescending smirk, one eyebrow raised. I don't know. I just do it, and it helps me process information so well. I spin it like whatever it is. It's almost like it's beneath me. You know, I'll deal with that. No problem. Okay, all right. Is that what I'm dealing with now? Okay, I'll deal with this. You know what I mean? So this is the original point was when you're making these expressions, these facial expressions, are you processing what's happening objectively, or are you just reinforcing your emotions? I feel bad. Can I process my negative feelings when I'm like this, or am I just feeling them? Can you notice the difference? Am I feeling them, or am I processing them? Now some psychology expert is going to say it's important to feel them. Listen, would you recommend for a beginner? I know you got a video about books, but I would like to hear one favorite mindset book. What do you mean by mindset book? Okay, be more specific. Beginner. Do you mean more so like a self-help book, or do you mean maybe a bit more philosophical, a bit more philosophy, or maybe more of a biography potentially? Pick one of the three subgenres, if we can call it this, and I'll give you one. Not a problem. It's fine. It's not a problem. My English is so washed. Sorry. It's okay. But yeah, we have different genres. Do you want something self-help-ish, something more of a biography, or something more of a philosophy? These can all help you with mindset. But biography book, you look at the way someone thinks. Self-help book, someone is kind of telling you, giving you fixes, almost like a quick fix type of thing to understand people. Okay, for a begin, listen, what I've been talking about, and one self-help. You're saying one selfish. I know you probably meant self-help. I would say the best to understand people. I would say read one of the Stoics. They're not very complex with what they say. If you kind of understood what I was saying in this podcast, you have to listen to Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, or Cicero. Okay, these are like some of the most important Stoic philosophers. Okay, they are basic but important. It's not, oh my god, I don't know this word, I don't know that word. It's kind of basic, nothing over the top. You can go with Seneca. Okay, no, not Seneca. Go with Marcus Aurelius. It was one of maybe like it was within probably one of my first 5 books that I read was Marcus Aurelius Meditations. Okay, this was his own personal journal. Marcus Aurelius, the Marcus Aurelius. Okay, the king of Rome. It doesn't get any. You're talking about probably the most powerful man in the world in his time. This was like his personal journal. This wasn't meant to be a book that everyone would see and read. This was just his personal thoughts and journal. He wrote it. And now we get to see what the most powerful man in the world 2000 years ago thought. Okay? And see his philosophy. Okay? This is very important. He talks about all this. I hope I have the strength to deal with the things I can, and to fix the things that I can, and to accept the things that I cannot. Stuff like that. I think it really helps. That's a classic, and it's a entry level. It doesn't require for you to have read 50 other books to understand it. You can just pick it up, start reading slowly, but you keep progressing. That's one. Yeah, Marcus Aurelius. He's really good. I said also Seneca. Seneca is one of the best Stoic philosophers. Seneca. But yeah, just go Marcus Aurelius. I don't know if I have it here. Also, this Cicero, guys. I think this is mirrored by Cicero, Selected Writings. Cicero is really good. He's one of the best, most well-known Stoic authors as well. He's good. But Marcus Aurelius, start with him, then check back in. Also, like I would, if anyone asks me the best self-help book or whatever, I always say it's David Goggins. Can't Hurt Me. I've read this book 5 or 6 times now. It probably changed my life the most. But the thing is, some people feel like it's too extreme. Okay, oh my God, David Goggins, he's too tense, he's too extreme. I, on the other hand, when I first saw him, I first saw Goggins, like his videos and stuff like that, in 2017. I was like, oh, this guy's so relatable. I finally found someone. The way he speaks, the way he thinks, I'm like, I see it. I understand him completely. Yeah, so him. For some people, he's too extreme. Depends, I think, on your personality. If you're a bit more laid back, a bit more of a, people's person, maybe he's not the one for you yet. But he's the highest level, to be honest. He's just, yeah. So David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me. Is it here? It's up there. This is his other one, Never Finished. Goggins. Let's see. Um, should I stay? And but yeah, this is it with the books. If whenever anyone needs recommendations, book recommendations, I'm happy to help. I like talking about books. I like recommending books, and I think it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun for me. And you know why? You know why it's important to read books. It's kind of obvious, isn't it? Books, but think about this. This is my next thought. No problem. Um, my next thought. Listen, some people say, I'm not book smart, but life. I wasn't the best in school, but life has taught me, or something along these lines. Okay, or experience. What I lack in knowledge, I compensate with experience. We have to start accepting the fact that experience is a bit overrated. Okay, why? Because think about this. In one lifetime, you can only experience so many things. Okay, we have limited time. You can only learn so much. You can only experience so much. Okay, especially if we're talking about life experiences and learning lessons from them. How many lessons are you learning from your experiences every day? If life is your teacher, how many? I'll tell you, not that many. How many lessons can you learn if you're reading books all the time? You're learning from other people's experiences. Okay, you're learning from other stories. You can get as close to experiencing things as possible, you know, by reading about them. I, who is going to be able to experience what is it like to be the emperor of Rome? Hmm? No one. But you can learn from the emperor of Rome. You can literally learn from him. Read his book. You know what I mean? you can learn from the smartest people in history, learn from the lessons that they had in their lives, learn from their experience. You have to learn from other people's experience. You can't just say, oh, experience is my teacher. What are you going to experience in 8 years? Only so many things to experience. That's it. That's, you know, you're you're limited by your time here. But when it comes to learning, you can advance so much quicker, and you're in control. You have more control over what you learn compared to what you experience. So we have to remember this. Before I end this podcast, I think I'm just gonna watch the game. Experience is good, but learning, reading, this is what's gonna get you to the next level. You cannot just rely on experience. It has to be learning, learning. This is how you improve. Otherwise, you're just going with the flow. You're not taking control of your life and of your progress and all of this. Okay, that's it. I think that's it for today. 6 minutes. I think it's a good time to end it. Thanks to everyone for watching, listening. I had fun. This was probably one of the better ones. Appreciate, as I said, I appreciate everyone. And I'll be back next week, same time, roughly. We go again, and that's it. Thanks for the third time. How grateful I am. What a grateful person. Thank you, mate. You too. And I appreciate the support. We'll be back next week. Yeah. Tune in next week. If you have questions, throw them in. Send them to me. It doesn't matter. I'm happy, more than happy to answer. Okay. It makes my life easier and more fun. So yeah, thanks everyone again. And we'll be back next week. See you later.